5 plus the 3 midfielders in front and the 2 stayed up. There they were just a bit open. And I think because Jesus peels off and almost goes down the wing, Mahrez goes down the middle, the centre-backs didn't have anybody to mark. So they were a bit confused whether they should go press Mahrez. And it was just a good bit of execution, but poor defending really from Leicester.
He finished it well though, Jesus, having just come on.
Oh, he's brilliant. I mean, he's the best reserve centre-forward anywhere, I think. You know, he's unlucky that he's behind Sergio. But let's be honest, Sergio's one of the greatest we've ever seen. So he's brilliant to have come off the bench and affect the game.
And he offers you something completely different than Sergio. Sergio didn't have a touch of the ball in the penalty area up until his penalty missed, didn't he? And he comes on and his movement is completely different to Sergio Aguero, so it gives you a completely different option of how to play and how to pass and where he's going to be. And you see, it was prevalent in the goal. His movement was brilliant. He comes out wide, moves back in. He's always moving all the time.
You're not offside.
Now, look, we've put a line across this. Depends on the width of the line, of course. But
because you like controversy, Richard, you will say he was onside.
I'm going. Of course, that's what I'm going to say. But that would be acceptable in your proposals, would it? Is that what you're asking for?
If he's on the same level when the defender, yes, with his left foot, yes. We would have seen a goal in the first half.
We would have done. Andy, would you accept that?
I think it's a big shift from where we are. I mean, I'm not happy where we are, you know, with regards to disallowing goals for a toe.
You're not happy with where we want to go?
No, I mean, I think there's merit in what you say about, I mean, given the advantage. I've always believed that we're in the business of entertainment, of scoring goals and giving the public that. So I've always been in the camp of the forward or the attacker should have the advantage when there's doubt. But my only problem with that is there is no doubt. he's offside.
I know we've played with it a little bit, but it's a very good example of, I think, what you're saying, Arsene. Now, how much of what you said was reported correctly? Did you say we could have this implemented in time for the Euros?
No, I didn't say that because, first of all, I think it needs to be experimented, and when you have the IFAB AGM next Friday in Belfast, and the time is too short to make a decision like that. Before it goes to the IFAB, you have a technical advisory committee with people from technical level who experiment it, and after it goes to the IFAB as a proposal, if it is accepted.
So it could be a decade away.
We will not sit here anymore, maybe.
No, I won't be here. Right. But it's not something you want to see rushed.
The minimum delay is maybe a year, you know.
But have you had any response to your thoughts about the offside? Have you spoken to anybody in authority?
We spoke about that at FIFA with Pierluigi Collina, with even with Infantino when we travelled, you know, and everybody's conscious that at the moment there's big debate about this offside rule because of the precision and of the small margins of offside.
I read today that Collina agrees with you. Is that the impression you got then in that conversation?
Collina is ready to experiment it, you know, and he's a very intelligent man with a huge experience, and he as well is one of, when he discussed it, came out like that, he brought that up as well. It's one of your possibilities. I'm not against if somebody finds a better one, like Andy says, because it's a huge step forward in favour of the strikers. And the offside rule is as well an intelligent rule that gives an opportunity for the defender to use his brain to annihilate the strikers.
Well, when you came to Arsenal all those years ago, you had 4 players who were perfect at the offside.
Yes, but they told me many times, we learned that when you were offside playing on the same line.
Same line?
You know. When during their career the rule changed and they moved less forward because they had to drop back a little.
Do you think football fans are frustrated because of the sort of conversation that takes place between the PGMOL and us today, saying that that is where...
Of course.
So if they just came out and told the truth, it would help.
Exactly. We had two cases today. The one first was the red card in the Tottenham
Lo Celso
Chelsea game with Lo Celso, and the second was this handball. Like, I agree completely with Andy. Or you have 2 handballs or no handball. You know, we cannot justify by micro rules that the decision was right. Nobody who loves football and watches these games will accept that.
No.
And what about, where do we stand, Arsene? Do you know, do you have any, about in the UK, still, in England in particular, not UK, but in England, where we still don't have the referee, the man on the pitch, the man to make the decisions, making the big decisions. The big decisions today were made by a guy sitting somewhere in London, 200 miles away from the action.
I must say, Andy, I understand the purpose of that rule at the start was to gain time.
Yes.
But it looks like sometimes the VAR making this kind of thing takes longer than if the referee would have moved to the monitor.
But particularly with the Lo Celso one today, because it happens adjacent to the dugout. Or Michael Oliver, who has previously used a monitor this year, bravely enough, all he's got to do here is step, 5 yards? And go and have a look.
Yeah, if he could, when
exactly,
he comes over,
yeah, I agree.
On that side.
And you need only one look here.
I mean, that's... You do need only one look, you're right.
you see where the referee is. You can see him in the top of the screen. He can't look through Azpilicueta's body, so I get he might make a mistake there. But once he saw it, he would send him off, wouldn't he, Arsene?
You need only one angle.
Yeah.
Are you of the view that more information should be provided on screens? And if that is the case, have Liverpool and Manchester United got to install that technology?
Of course. I believe that you need more transparency. You need to explain the decisions to people who are in the stadiums, and that is absolutely needed. Liverpool and Man United need a screen, and we need to explain better the decision on the screen. People see it on their phone. Why should you hide it on the screen?
Well, it's the only way at the moment, on your phone.
And it's a travesty
if you've
that
got one.
The people who are getting the least information are actually the people who've gone to the trouble of going to the game and watching their teams play.
Yes.
They have no idea sometimes why goals have been disallowed, particularly at Old Trafford.
The only reason I mentioned Liverpool and Manchester United is because they're the only two teams in the Premier League that do not have a screen at the moment. Inside
yes, it's. I believe it's more for economical reasons, because if you put the screen in, you lose some fans. You know.
Well, yeah, but you actually educate or help those that are. I mean, what do you lose? 5,000-6,000 seats? I don't know, but
no, you wouldn't lose.
You bring 70,000 on side at United who have more of an idea of why unusual decisions are being taken.
But that's, for me, I think that's the main reason behind it.
Economy then, or money? Well, that's got to change. They're both rich enough to be able to do that, aren't they? Anybody want to hear from Pep Guardiola?
Yes, please.
Do you? Here he is.
Pep, what did you make of that?
Yeah, nice, great victory. So in crowd tough plays, and for the quality they have in all departments, especially up front with they're so quick. Except first action they had a clear chance of Jimmy Vardy and some quantities we controlled in them, and we play a really good game.
Particularly in the second half, touchline, you seemed frustrated. You were trying to change something. What were you trying to change?
No, sometimes when one player is playing one position, you have to change it. They don't understand they are playing, and sometimes. But after when they settle and they put Gundogan drop a little bit close to Rodri, we found the spaces.
How much harder does it make when you're playing against a system like that?
You know, we play many times, so we are used to play for different systems. It's not new. So just to know a little bit where are the spaces to control our build-up and control the players don't make mistakes especially in the counter-attack, and they know we are 4 years together. So and we play against different systems a lot of times.
You got the win you wanted, so good news, but it's another penalty miss. That's 4 in a row. How much of a problem is this?
Well, next time we'll score.
Will you have a different penalty taker next time? I'm not sure if you were half joking. You said Ederson is probably our best penalty taker. Would you consider letting him be the penalty taker?
Of course, it's a problem. So we miss in Tottenham against the Spurs and many games, Atalanta but next penalty. What I want, I tell them. So with the guy who's going to take a penalty, be convinced to score a goal, take one decision, to go there, and after miss. So next time when we are going to play to win something, we are going to score.
And also as a coach, when you make a substitution like that and he scores, does that give you extra satisfaction?
No, because always you take the substitution for the best for the team, not for